This is the If More Let's Divide podcast.
Yo, Charlie guys, how be? Welcome to the F More Let's Divide podcast.
That's good, bro.
Another episode, season 2. So far so good. Fred,
What's good, G?
what happened?
You pull out another T-shirt.
Oh, Charlie, this be old t-shirts, Charlie. Okay. This be old t-shirts. But me, Fred, you know, I don't have shirts.
Oh, so every day they talk.
T-shirts in Kwan. Yeah.
Oh, that's what you mean? Like shirts. Yeah. Because
like,
you're always in a T-shirt.
Like,
yeah.
you know, I don't own one. I think I have to start sewing, shirts because one day you never know.
Where office did they go?
Charlie, Charlie, these bank guys, But Fred, Charlie, this episode looks exciting.
As always.
Yeah, because our guest has been on our radar
For a minute.
for Charlie minutes. If you talk minutes, Charlie, you did.
For a season.
Yeah, Charlie.
Yeah.
For eons,
Yeah.
we all grew up seeing him. He's been on our screens from the 90s.
Yeah, late 90s. Yeah, for sure.
The 90s.
Yeah.
And guys, Charlie, he's taking control. So help me welcome Eddy Blay.
Yes, sir.
The crowd goes wild. No autographs. I'm too Hollywood for you today, please. I'm too Gollywood right now. I beg you. No autographs. And I'm the same thing with the T-shirts, man.
Yeah.
All I got is T-shirts.
Yeah. I mean, Charlie.
You need to get some kaftan.
Yeah, Charlie, Ghana, the weather, every day.
Yeah.
Then you, Charlie, nah.
Yeah, true.
Sometimes I think of the politics of wear some kaftans.
True. Yeah.
I think, Eddie, are you a fan of Al Pacino?
I love Al Pacino, man. No, that's De Niro. You're talking to. You want to play rough? Or I got my favorite one is. Okay, I'm reloaded.
Yeah.
You think you're bad when he's in the bathroom with Carlito's way? Yeah.
Because I remember.
That's Pacino, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember I sat in a conversation with you, I think, at Rockstone's office. But
Yeah.
back in the day, it was before Rockstone's.
It was The Office.
It was the
Mr.
office.
Mr. Abdul's office back then.
And I sat in the where you guys were talking about The Godfather, movies and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
and
yeah.
you were impersonating,
Yeah.
and-
I watched Scarface the other day, funny enough, like for the 500th time. So Pacino's one of my favorites.
Classic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, when I go home, I'm gonna watch Carlito's Way tonight. So, you just put me on that. Yeah.
You know he just got married.
Oh yeah, and he had a kid as well.
No,
Yeah.
a kid.
He had a
I
kid,
think-
actually.
Yeah, a kid.
Yeah.
It's a kid.
But
yeah.
the lady's like a pretty young.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a pretty young thing. PYT.
Yeah, Charlie.
30 or something.
These
Yeah.
oldies.
Yeah, but so did De Niro as well. They
Yeah,
both
yeah,
had,
yeah. They both had
kids this
Yeah,
year.
yeah,
So
yeah,
congrats to them.
Yeah, Charlie.
In
Charlie.
their 80s, still kicking ass. Man.
Yeah, man, for real.
But Fred, you want to get to 80?
If I can. If I'm healthy and I have a reason to live, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my experience with old age isn't pretty.
Yeah.
And I lived with my mom and my grandmother, and when my grandmother died at the age of 85,
Wow.
she lost her mind. She didn't know who she was.
Wow.
Oh, she had Alzheimer's?
Yeah.
Dementia.
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 Okay. I had to, babysit her for a while until she was taken to our hometown with Brie.
Wow.
So old age.
You see, but I think those things, science and knowledge is helping us understand why they happen. So if you can take better care of yourself and you're healthy, and like I said, if you have a reason to be around, me like this, you probably, because you have kids, as you're getting older, the kids are having kids and you have your faculties right. It would be good to experience their life too, but I don't have kids. So that's what I'm saying, if I have a reason to live. Because I don't want to be hanging around just to be hanging around. Like, I don't get paddies. My paddies all die. I don't have kids, I don't have, then I wouldn't want to be around. But if I have a reason to live, why not?
But Eddie, you want to?
Oh man, I mean, this one is. I think about it every now and then. It's a very delicate thing because I've also seen that, and I've seen how things get when you get older, and it's just you need a lot of care. People need to give you a lot of care, and you have to depend on people, and I don't like depending on people. People always let me down, and so I'm not a big fan of depending on people, and that for me would be my biggest problem if I get to that age.
Wow, deep.
Yeah.
Do you have any kids?
I got 2 kids, yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, I got 2 kids. My daughter is 18 and my son's 15. And my daughter's going to be 19 this month and my son's
19.
My son's going to be 16. Yeah,
wow.
man. Yeah.
I never knew
this.
this.
It's no joke. Yeah.
What? Wow. How have you been able to keep your private life separate from what we know?
I'll tell you, one of the things that has worked for me is the fact that they don't live here. They live in the UK with their mom. So if they were here, I'm thinking that things would be very different. I wouldn't be even able to do some of the things I do. My lifestyle. Right now, I'm working with a club, the YFM. I'm running YFM Accra. It's a 24-hour thing. I wouldn't be able to do a lot of these things. So it's a bittersweet thing. But, being away from them is the worst thing. And they're at the age now that I really need to be part of their lives, you know. But unfortunately, I'm here, and I try my best, but it's never enough.
But like, do you
talk?
Yeah.
I try to go there as much as I can. They haven't been here in a while, but it's cheaper for me to go. So that's like 2 tickets.
Mathematics, man.
Yeah. So I try to go there as much as I can. But yeah, it's not easy, man. It's not easy at all.
What has parenting taught you?
Oh man, patience and patience and knowing that things will go bad and you have to be prepared for the whatever. If I'm alone, I'm ready. Today like this, I'm rocking my camos. I'm in gorilla mode. But with your child, it's no longer about you. Your life is out of your hands. Now it's about taking care of the kids and making sure that the kids are fine and they're in school and how was their day? Fuck you. I curse you.
Yeah.
Fuck your day. It's about their kids' day. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's taught me, just to be very patient and be ready for anything and be ready to take care of them whatever happens.
Wow.
So I'm curious about if your kid's about to be 19 and 16.
16 and 19, yeah.
This was during your,
My rap time. Yeah. Nice calculation. Yeah, you done well. Well, I'll tell you a secret, man. Well, it's an open secret. A lot of people that know me know that one of the reasons why I actually stopped the game back then was because I settled down to have a family. I realized that I was having a family. And at the time, money no day the thing inside, And so I'm like, you know what? I was in school. I was finishing GIJ at the time, and then I had to I had a TV show that I was doing, and that was paying me more money. And the rap thing by then, Charlie, nobody was giving us the time of day. It was like, we were, NFL, but where was the money, And there were a few people that believed in us, like Keke Diame, his soul rest in peace. Yeah. He believed in us, but that was about it. I remember having to pitch my dad, may his soul rest in peace, took me to Sidi Kubari and things like that back in the day. And he said, my son is a rapper. And he was friends with my dad because they grew up together. Yeah. And he's like, nah, man, the rap thing, it's not happening. It's not gonna work. Wow. So in many ways, we were way ahead of our time. And that also pushed me to let me just settle down, have a family. I do television, media, and at least I get paid, and I can see my kids grow up.
You are one of a few. Your story, what you just said, reminds me of Rockstone's, story. When Rockstone came, Rockstone's father was also pushing him, introducing him to people.
But his soul rest. Funny enough, we were actually he had contacted me to go work with Color Chart at the time. You remember Color Chart? That was Rockstone's dad. And so just before he passed, he was trying to even push me to do stuff with him. So he's helped out a million people out there, and he was really instrumental in Reggie's career and a lot of people that don't come out and say it all the time, but he was really there to help the arts because he was an artist himself in a way.
Yeah. In Ghana, right, we suck at keeping records. We suck at telling our stories. And I'm saying this because your father was a champion, but you just pick someone uni, they don't know him.
Of course.
But imagine he was from the States or from the West, like nice movie, elevating him, making him, big.
Do we even have a Hall of Fame?
I think his medals are still at the museum. There's a museum, the National Museum of something. That's opposite where Tigo used to be.
Oh yeah.
Tigo main office. The museum.
Yeah.
So I think his medals are there from the Olympics of I think it was Rome, where he won a gold and a silver, and Toronto. So he did so much for Ghana, but it was a different time as well, and even my time, record keeping wasn't very good.
Record keeping is still not good.
Yes, it's still not good. Yeah.
So that's crazy.
It's unfortunate.
You bearing his name.
Yes.
Do you feel any pressure? Do you feel any weight on on you?
I used to. I remember when he used to pick me up from school or drop me off, and people used to shout his name out, Eddy Blay, Eddy Blay. They do that to me now. So I grew up having that shouted to me when I was with him all the time, because he was hella famous, and I could say he was even more famous than I am, because back then it was you had to be very, very super excellent at your job to get recognized. Whereas in my time, you had to be the best, yes, but now it's a bit more, everyone's famous. But back then it was very...
Now everyone's famous.
Well, yes, true.
Because of Instagram.
Everyone's a model, everyone's an artist, it's like, all more power to them, But at the end, back then, it was so difficult for you to be recognized. So for him to be recognized in those days makes him much more famous. And there was a little pressure in the beginning, but I think it was more like it was a fuel for me to be like, you know what, I'm Eddy Blay. I'm Eddy Blay Jr. And Charlie, make him proud. They shout his name out. If they shout your name out, make sure it's in the same light as well. So that was actually a fuel for me when I started out this thing.
Dope. Did you ever think that you would grow up to like box too?
Oh man, no man. My dad didn't want me to box at all. My dad was like, "Don't box. It's not for you." I could throw a punch, So, and I was like, okay, why not? But no, he wanted me to do other sports. He still wanted me to be a sportsman. So he had me playing tennis for a while. I did tennis. I played tennis for a bit. I used to run in my school. And then I used to play. My heights, but I used to play basketball. And it's a funny story. One time, my dad, because he was in the sports council of Ghana and things like that, there was an NBA scout that came to Ghana.
Oh wow!
And I was like, wow! I was so excited when I heard. I was like, yo, this is my chance. Meanwhile, I was like a short guy, So they organized like a talent thing where you get to. So I was playing my ass off, man. But I could tell that the guy wasn't even looking at me. That was the end of my basketball career.
Yeah, but
it kind of reminds me of the Celtics player. What's his name? Isaiah Thomas.
Right.
The new one.
Yeah.
The young Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
He's very tenacious.
Right.
His height, typically you wouldn't expect him
Uh-huh.
but he still made it through. But
it's almost you can't do it. It's almost impossible to.
But quite recently, I saw online that there is this new technology where they can make you
taller. I saw that as well.
It's been there. People that get surgery, they stretch themselves out, but it comes with complications, bro.
Yeah, why you want to even do that,
I'm
Charlie?
not a big fan of those things. Unless you truly have to, there's a medical reason.
Yeah.
Going to you don't want to make taller, so they go make the
inject
pull.
you. with-
Yeah, but there's a story. That guy who did that apparently says he's getting more girls now.
Oh wow.
So,
Yeah.
some of my friends and we always laughed at if we were taller, Charlie.
Oh no, the girls there you go get taller.
Really?
You don't get problem. You be tall.
You
Fuck
tall,
off.
you don't have a fucking problem.
No, but seriously,
Fuck off.
we had to, us short guys,
Charlie.
like me, we always had to like go over the top to like. That's why beware a short guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, but I don't think women. Fame and height. I think women would want fame. Someone who's famous.
Oh yeah, everybody have in level. I think a certain level of fame. So Eddy Blay famous go over Mutombo heights. But if you're equally famous, then maybe the height will give you an advantage. But yeah,
I've never had a problem with getting girls, even before I was famous.
Yeah.
So it's all about, I think, also confidence. You know, how you what's inside you, and when the girl can see what really is inside you, it's real. Or when they get to see what's inside you, and they see that inside me there's a muscular, skinny, tall Viking of a human being. They see that. A lot of women get to see that. Even they don't need to see it like physically or aesthetically.
MX ray vision, women they can see through.
There you go. Yes.
So you coming into the entertainment scene.
Yeah.
Was it something that you always wanted, or it was like just a fluke? Maybe something happened and you went to try and.
Well, I always wanted to rap because I grew up on rap and reggae and all that. So I wanted to rap. I wanted to be an artist. And again, my father, he had an interview on Metro TV at the time for his boxing, what he was doing for the Sports Council and things like that. And the owner of Metro TV saw my video on TV. So we had the first rap video back then. Oh, wow. It was a show called Second Generation.
Oh, I remember Second Generation.
Second Generation on GBC.
Yes. Second Generation.
So we did a video for that. The first hip hop video, it's safe to say, in Ghana. But we don't like to boast. Yeah. But so like he had seen Talal Fatal had seen me on TV doing that. So he asked my dad, I saw your son. Is that your son? I saw his name is Eddy Blay. They interviewed him. I'm looking for a presenter for this show called Smash TV.
I remember Smash
TV. So I'm like, my dad came home and he's like, Talal, they said you want to try it? I was like, yeah, why not? So I remember I was in like SS1. I just come to Quinas or something like that. And I tried it, and that was it. I did the audition and they loved it. Funny enough, that's the only audition that actually went well for me because I don't audition good. Yeah. But yeah, it was fantastic from then on, and it's like so a bit of a fluke. You can say, yeah.
Smash TV was. Do you remember Smash TV?
Yeah.
Smash, yeah.
Smash TV and Teen Beat.
Teen Beats, yes, I remember Teen Beat as well. Yeah, good memory.
Was it Smash TV? There was this lady. Is it Cindy?
Cindy, yeah.
Where is she now?
She moved to the UK, but went back. I think went back to the UK.
Wow.
How much older was she than us? She had to be.
Well, she was older than me, so she was about 2-3 years older than me.
Yeah.
At the time. Yeah.
We go find them.
So Smash TV. Yeah. I think that was the first time I saw you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were. Was it on Saturdays? Or
it was one of those nights.
One of them days. Yeah. I think I was in secondary school then, and I was watching Smash TV religiously.
Yeah.
And then it morphed into rap.
Yeah.
They're notorious for life.
Notorious for life. Niggas for life. Native Funk Lords. Now we're called No Fucking Lyrics or National Fat Lords. So now.
So wait, which one came first?
The first one was Niggas for Life, and then I remember it was me, Cy Lover. You guys know Cy Lover.
Yeah.
Cy Lover, Danny Two Dread, Daniel Dama, Covell. We were sitting at Shangri-La, the poolside, and we were trying to form this rap group. Jake the Snake, Tinikwe, and he's like, Cy was like, let's call ourselves NFL, like Niggas for Life. And then I think it was Covell, another member at the time, he was like, that's a bit too crazy, man. Let's just call ourselves Notorious for Life. So we went with Notorious for Life, and then the group kind of shifted. They fell off, and it was just like three of us now. And Case decided, he said, we get Native Funk Lords. Yeah, you guys, you're native, you got the funk, you're the Lords of the Funk, and by then Lords of the Underground was large. So we're like, Native Funk Lords. It was a bit more PG, but
why were you guys glued on NFL?
I think it was Cy Lover's idea was, because the NFL already existed, so we'll just leech on that in a way. Right. So there's no NFL in Ghana. So when they say NFL from Ghana, it's like NFL from Ghana. It's like we might as well be called NBA from Ghana. But I think it was Cy's idea to like use that to just get some.
Which is actually dope in terms of when you think about a marketing mind or a branding mind.
Absolutely.
To latch on to NFL.
Yeah.
It's easy. It rolls off the tongue. People already make a connection, and then you break it down from there. It's
But Fred, what do you remember about the group and NFL?
Wow. Native Funk Lords. I think the name was one of the first impactful rap group names. Actually, when people think I like to share my 2 minutes of fame, on this topic. But when Mensa and I were trying to form a group with K Dog, I think that was part of the motivation.
Oh, word.
So we ended up calling ourselves Natural Born Killers.
NBK.
But it was like that whole vibe of going with a moniker that had like a short version, NFL kind of thing. And what they were doing then, honestly, was so inspiring because we were all used to seeing, what's the name of that Tretch's group?
Naughty by Nature.
Naughty by Nature, the
NWA,
all those people.
Yeah.
But to have like somebody who was like us coming out rapping
in Pidgin,
with skill,
Pidgin, man,
and
especially,
that kind of thing. Yeah, it was very special.
Like you look at today's landscape, and everybody's rapping in Pidgin. Like we literally started. We were the first rap group rap act to rap in Pidgin English. There's no disputing that. You can dispute who came up with the name Hiplife, like that goes on and on. But when it comes down to Pidgin rap, nobody came before us. That one there forgets.
Because I can't remember.
Nobody.
It was fresh. It was new.
It was fresh. And it was KK's idea. KK's like, we were rapping in English at the time. And KK's like, you know what? Jamaicans have patois. We have Pidgin. Why don't you guys start rapping in Pidgin? For me, I didn't want to rap in Pidgin. I like the Yankee, I like the whole culture of hip hop. But when I realized what he was saying, I was like, that's exactly what we need to do. Sing more, rap more in Pidgin, say things that are very local in Pidgin, but then still cool. And when we loved it, we just ran with it. But now we don't get that recognition. Nobody really talks about it. Like, fuck it out.
But isn't that part of what record keeping is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
We don't want to, or it's not that we don't want to, but we don't have a means of the chronology of what has happened. Because it's vital. That's why you can't sustain. Maybe a few people have been on here talking about the lack of industry, the lack of money at the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually want to go back to that at some point. So I hope my mind doesn't, when you were talking about transitioning to start a family, where there's no money in the industry. But these are the building blocks of any industry. If you can't uphold the pioneers and then build on that to draw richly from that culture, unfortunately what happens is people start to come up and think that, this thing, Hiplife is, they say Hiplife is dead. I saw Reggie posted something yesterday. He took it personal.
Don't ever say that next to Reggie. Yeah.
So Hiplife is dead. And so what response should he give? But the thing is that we need to archive these things because they are very vital to what our evolution as an entertainment industry has been, the role that they've played. Like, it's unfortunate that he has to sit here and remind us that there was no rapping in Pidgin. This should be like folklore.
It should be folklore.
Yeah, like everybody should understand and know and give the props where it's due. But we need to do better. Maybe somebody needs to take it up and we need to find ways to enrich the culture so that, see, I believe that if you can't honor your pioneers and build on that, you have nothing that you're standing on. So when you go outside and you can't say, look, we've been doing this for 30 years. Look at Eddy Blay, Reggie Rockstone, blah, blah, blah. People are not going to pay attention to you because they're like, you just started in 2013. My friend, go find somewhere sit. There's a richness and value to being able to say we've been doing this since 90s. We have our acts, the Eddy Blays, who are like the forefathers of the business now, and you can lean on them. He's still in entertainment, but lifting them up is only going to lift the entire industry up. That's what I feel. I don't know what you think about it.
I'll say one thing. I also think that we are to blame. Like personally, even me, I'm to blame because when we were doing this, we didn't think that we needed to keep the records. We didn't think that far. For us, we were living in the moment, and it was like we just got to do what we got to do now, and we keep doing what we're doing. We'll blow up. We'll be big. We're gonna make it big. But we didn't see that, there'll be a time when people will dispute your claims if you don't. I have some friends, on the other hand, who have been DJing for God knows how long, and they have their first mixtape that they did. They have, it's a culture that you have to have as a person. And for me, I think one of my regrets would be the fact that I didn't keep all those records and I didn't think of how valuable each newspaper clip would be, each interview that we did on all the numerous radio stations or TV stations that we did. We didn't keep any of that, And even today, now it's easier because, it's all on the internet, so you can find it. But back then, no internet. So how are you? You had to keep your records. Now it's a bit easier, I think, because of the internet. But still, I think if they make it a point to keep these things and to archive them and know where to find them when you need them, because you never know when it will happen that you might need to go back and dig into the crates to find out and just to prove something to some people out there.
And I mean, I will give you guys, even as you take responsibility for it, I'll cut you some slack because typically these are the jobs of a manager. And A&R and things around you to, because the artist cannot be worried about archiving and where the interview day. As an example, you mentioned Metro TV, right?
Yes.
I went to them personally because my dad was interviewing on the radio about politics and stuff, and he passed. So I wanted to get some of those records. Bro, I go there. I mean, you know me, I'm willing to pay bribe. Yeah. It's a Ghanaian culture. But no matter how much I've been speaking to the right person. So if you're at Metro TV, you know, bribe.
You know where to find.
I can't get the records. Yeah. Somebody told me, oh, you should have come 6 months ago because it was stacked up in my storeroom. I was getting tired and I trashed them all. These are photos with heads of state. They were opening a factory. So we're terrible at archiving.
Yeah, it's so bad, right? At the beginning of this year, so a friend of mine wrote a book on the stars, the zodiac, and all that. And I bought one and I'm like, let me read. So I start reading, and you don't just have to know your date of birth, but the time of birth. I don't know my time of birth. So I went to Kolebu, where I was born, to, find my time of birth. I went, someone introduced me to someone there, and I saw them, went to the archive, office and all that, took my details and all that. I paid. Not paid,
You they like go the straight forward way. This guy, they like follow rules fast.
Regulations.
Yeah, so I paid, and after 2 weeks, I hear from them, and we can't find your record though. We think it got bent.
Wow.
Just like that.
And
there's nothing that.
And to this day, we're probably not digitalizing it.
Yeah. So like, do you? But at least you have some photos from studio sessions.
Well, yeah, I mean some. Jake, my main man, he has a lot of the stuff from back in the day. But look, even like videos, like I don't have. Like there's one video that if I ever see that video, I'll be like, oh, thank you. Like it was the Asi Can't Be So video. It's one of the songs. Asi Can't Be So. You for no say, you for wedge, you for wedge, you for like when it was tongue twisted in pidgin. Like the video was done on some query. In some stone query somewhere, wicked video. It's not available nowhere.
Yeah,
like I can't find it anywhere.
Who was the director?
Samaton,
probably BB Menson. BB Menson, if you're watching this and you got the video, man, let's have it. You guys remember BB, right?
Yeah.
I think it's either Sam or BB, and then there was Reggie Menz who passed away as well. He had a copy, but he passed away a couple of years ago, may his soul rest. So it's like, it was gone. It's like, all we have is the other ones. We have the Feel Alright video on YouTube. We've got the Vote For Me video as well. Some of the performances. We went to, when we were traveling, we went to Kumasi. We shut down Kumasi. We shut down the North. I met Obrafo for the first time at some place in Cape Coast. Y'all want to hear a funny story about
that? We like stories.
All right, so Reggie has this concert at Cape Coast, and it's a place called Monkey Hill. Monkey Hill, Cape Coast, or near Takrady. And Reggie's picture is there on the poster and everything. But that night it had rained, so the monkey part of it got wiped out. Oh no, the hill part of it, got wiped out. So it just had, the posters had Reggie's face and monkey. True story, you can ask him. But that's the first time I met Obrafo, man. Obrafo was taking a dump and in the room, and I'm like, I knocked and he's like, hey, who's that? I'm like, yo, it's Eddie from NFL. I was like, oh yeah, come in. So I just walked in. I'm like, hey, I had to pick something from his room. And he's just, oh yeah, no problem, man.
Oh, wow.
Like those days it was so real, man.
And you guys were like, this was a tour, like a concert.
This was a tour. Obrafo had just released Kwame Nkrumah.
Okay.
So he was part of Reggie's tour. Reggie was the one touring. So we just followed up with him. We were doing Yenkan Boom and things. Wow. Good times, man.
How do you feel when you go back into time and remember all of these, moments? Do you feel that, you you guys should have been a Jay-Z and still be doing this like hardcore.
Oh man, I mean,
or the
like,
past is the past.
It's a bit of both, Like there's a lot of things that probably I would have done different. They all blame me for actually being the one to say, you know what, I need to start a family, blah blah blah. My girl's pregnant, that. So they blame me for a lot of that, saying that it's because of that we stopped. So that's, but they understand that it was a situation. We all broke at the time,
Yeah.
So there was that. So there's that regret that we should have just kept going. We would have been as big as SAC is now, no doubt. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind
Pigeon.
that we were there. We were so there, and I was rapping like SAC. Funny enough, with the tongue twisted, and it was like, wow, you just missed that fucking opportunity, man. So every now and then I think about it, but then I look at everything else I've accomplished, and it is what it is. You can't dwell in the past, Charlie. If you dwell in the past,
the climate was probably a little different.
It was,
and the benefit of hindsight makes it easy for people to say what should have been done.
Yes,
but I think the impact, yes, again, it would be like KRS-One. Right. Or Rakim, or any of those legends like E40 and whatever. Yeah. If they were born in a different era, their careers would have been totally different. The difference, I think, for us is that we are not paying homage like we should. And that's what would make our legends feel like, maybe I didn't do that. Or maybe, because, the SAC also now has a platform where the access is just a sheer difference in technology. You can go on YouTube and listen to SAC while you're in Yankee. Then times I moved to America, I was cut off from Ghana completely. In terms of access to entertainment. There's no way I'm going to pull up, there was no YouTube for me to pull up Eddy Blay and listen to him when I moved to America in 97. So now I'm just stuck with the memory of, talking drums, Eddy Blay dams, but you don't get access to regular music. So it was a different era. I think you guys had a more impactful place. It's just that the culture is not recognizing the way you should recognize it. And
but with the culture bit, I think it's not just here; it's worldwide. I mean, even if you look in the States, a lot of artists, big time, like Academics came out some time ago and called the old guys dusty and
that's a dumbass.
Yeah, well, he is a dumbass. But he has the platform. That's another problem, So these guys have the platforms, and they have a lot of influence, and people listen to them, and they speak for a lot of kids these days. Don't really give a fuck about any of that shit. That's another thing. Nobody gives a shit. So like I always argue with Reggie over this, the whole Hiplife back and forth, and I'm like, I understand what you're trying to do, and understand, we got to let people know, but nobody gives a shit. How much can you, and I could be wrong, and I pray that I'm wrong, but people don't care about what, people are too busy living their lives and getting on trends and trying to be stars themselves, and to think about, unless you are a diehard music fan, there's people that, like, for example, with YFM, for the young and the young at heart, there's people that they love the music. It's about the music for them, so they'll know who NFL was. People like you guys, like they know who Talking Drum was. Achiami when they came out, VIP back in the day, Nananum, Akatiche, all of these guys, they know them because they were living that culture back then. So that's the passion. But today, it's all about the trends and looking cool and getting likes and things like that. So for them, that's enough for them.
What do you think the difference is, though? Because sometimes I'm inclined to believe that part of the larger problem, and we were listening to your lyrics before you got here, so I'm sure Tombo is going to get into it, but this idea of what you're talking about, institutions matter, systems matter, right? So for me, how I feel about it would be like, if we had institutions, like for instance, I was asking if you have a Hall of Fame. We don't have one.
Yeah.
So it makes our pioneers, legends obsolete.
Yeah.
Because if you have to work hard to get to like the Hall of Fame of Hiplife or hip hop, whatever you want to describe the culture as, and Eddy Blay has to be in the Hall of Fame. Reggie Rockstone has to be in the Hall of Fame. Now you have set an institution in place where a young artist coming up will be like, oh, there's honor that comes with if I do the right thing, if I set this, da-da-da. And maybe that's where we are finding fault, or we are finding a challenge, because we're not, our thought process as a nation in general it's not geared towards putting systems in place that allows the natural and proper evolution of things.
Yeah.
So again, I feel Eddy Blay on what he's saying, like nobody cares, but people have to realize the value around them to create those systems. It's hard for an artist to live their life, having done the music and all of that, to now come and turn around and be the person to come up with the Hall of Fame. It's almost like self-aggrandizing.
True. Yes,
Somebody has to do it and say, yo, Eddy Blay, like you belong in the Hall of Fame.
100%.
Reggie Rockstone. So maybe we need to do better. Some of you entrepreneurs out there, these are opportunities that we need to take advantage of. The Grammys, everybody's crying for a Grammy, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because the institution exists and they've made sure that through time, for decades, getting a Grammy means something.
Yeah.
We just, the blueprint has already been made. We just need to find better ways to
Eddie,
replicate.
would you agree that NFL, you were carrying an NFL on your back?
That's a very interesting question. Wow. Let me carefully answer that.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Let me
feel
carefully
free,
answer that. Yes. You know, I will say back then, I will say yes.
Okay.
Back then, because I remember how people used to forget their lyrics on stage. You know who you are. They used to literally forget the lyrics. There was one time, like, there was one of the last shows we did at Wapi.
Wapi, yeah. Oh, wow.
Yo, like, I literally had to do all the verses because people couldn't remember their verses. And even back then, people were getting drunk during videos. You know who you are. They weren't, like, remembering their lines.
Yeah.
I was the glue that kept it together. And I was like, you could say there's the guy who, the energy bubble. Yes. But that said, I look back now and I'm like, you know what? Everybody brought something to the table that was very unique. We used to laugh at Jake and say, I used to laugh at Jake because I used to say he can't rap. I mean,
We were just talking about that.
I used to cuss him out all the time. Yo, you got to do better. What's this, man? I mean, and he used to want to write his own raps all the time. Well, okay, you write them raps, but write them well. You know, you got to flow. Tinikwe will rap and talk some nya. And they were like, you know, what does that even mean? But he would say, you people is rap, you know. So over the years, I've come to understand what they're saying.
Yeah. I mean, Jake to me is like Price.
Yeah.
You know,
or Tommy Boy from Naughty by Nature.
Yeah, but he.
Or Vinny, sorry.
But he has something.
Yes.
You know, he adds to
It's
the
a
group.
vibe.
Yeah.
Yes.
He adds to the
Same
group.
thing with Tinikwe.
Yeah.
Tini had his lyrics were like she was say one of his verses. B, I say the level where I did. B like I the galley for the alley. Back. I go to bash you for your head. You know, like back. Like what the fuck are you talking about? But it was.
I love it though.
It was dope. And out of like we all memorized that verse because it was so dope.
Yeah.
So like over the years I've realized I've learned to, because I appreciate music more and I appreciate arts more.
Yeah.
But back then I was just wilding out.
You were
man.
more of a lyric. You know what that reminds me of? What he just did. That reminds me of Cameron. The computer's putin. You know, like the guy.
Computers.
It talks something like the fuck, but the vibe you go away there like computer's putin, not just the putin, and they talk something. You know, they make any sense, but later you realize it's just a vibe. It gives the record.
I mean, I've seen some of your shows from back in the day, the carnival. I think.
The Vibe FM Carnival also. Yeah.
Dope. I think there was this time that I had a chance to come backstage, and you guys went by me to like get on stage, and I'm like, you know,
Wow.
starstruck, you know,
Wow,
and all that. But for you, and it's not because you are here,
Right.
the pockets that you they enter plus that pigeon flow is crazy. Back then, it was crazy to me because I've been a fan from back in the day of rap, from back in the day.
Yes.
So when someone they rap, I know that your pockets was so crazy and your flow.
Yeah. I mean, that was the whole. I loved the music a bit more, and I think also I did my research. It's not like now that music is available. Back then, you have to go to Skyhawks or Prime Cuts.
Prime Cuts,
you know, to get a
Prime Cut
mixtape.
North K, right?
V103.
No, Prime Cut Osu.
V103, what's that place around here? The down here, no. V103, Tola, Jagad from Nima.
Yeah, the later on 247 came.
247 came after
Shouts
that.
to Osebo.
They used to hook me up with, I used to pay money to get my mixtapes.
Yeah.
So I went out of my way to listen to these things.
Just to study the art form.
Yeah, and I think that gave me an edge also because I was in tune with all the best shit. So that helped me as well. Whereas the other guys they were cool, but they weren't that invested in the music as much as I was, I think.
When I started making beats, like during the pandemic, like 2020, a sample that I promised to use when I'm good at beat making is a hook from one of your songs. Till date, I think it's one of the best hooks or bridge. I think it was a bridge, hands down.
Which one? That
TTA.
Watch it. You see, there you go.
You know,
that was all Tinikwe.
Wow.
That was all Tinikwe. You got to give him his props where props are due. I mean,
shout
out Tinikwe. I mean, in all his big bakba, he did this, and of course, it's an old rhyme. It's a popular rhyme. Yeah. But that was Tinikwe's idea. To do it. And I'm like, oh yeah, cool. So it was one of those things that just fit.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Have you sampled it?
No, not yet. Some songs be there. I don't master them before I go touch.
Yeah, I feel you.
But even that's part of the. I know I'm harping on this thing, but that's part of how the culture grows. Sampling. Like if people understand the richness of the culture, you go back and pull a record. That's how you enrich a record because you're bringing several generations together, and maybe that has to come from A&R to let an artist understand. So if you pull some Eddy Blay where you put for some section of the song, it adds an additional dimension where people are like, oh shit. Then it allows people to go back and say, let me check this. That's how I learned a lot of my music because I'll be listening to an artist that I'm in love with, like Nas or like Jay-Z or somebody, and they'll be giving props to somebody. They'll say a line from G-Rap. And I'll go and now start digging into like G-Rap, like, yo, what's up with G-Rap? And I'm like, damn, he's pretty dope. Yeah. And that's how the cycle keeps going. People keep, paying homage to where they need to pay homage to. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How talking about sampling? Did you guys clear? Did you guys clear it?
Well, it's a good question too because I think it was a big deal for me to clear all these things because I was really invested in music and I knew that I was learning the business side of it. So I wasn't about to just let that slide. I think Kiki Dua may have cleared it. I'm not too sure, but I know we made an effort to clear it because it had to be clear. We weren't going to take that chance. Yeah. I don't know whether we did, though. I can't say, but I hope we did.
But you have your songs on Spotify, Apple Music.
It's been so long and we still haven't done it. And Jake was supposed to do it 3 years ago.
You guys for doing
we for doing.
You guys for doing.
I mean, it's just sad that we haven't done it. I think also the problem is the quality of some of the stuff that we have now available to us is not of that level, and we wish it's still on CD and things like that. And
so maybe you guys have to
remaster. So the idea is to remaster. I'm talking to my man Ohini. You guys know Ohini? Savant. And I went to school with him in Quinnas. And,
okay.
We started rapping together as
well.
That
guy did rap.
Yeah, he's a beast. But so he's talking about. He's also a wicked producer. So
He plays everything.
Yeah. So he's looking at remastering a few of the tracks to put on Spotify. So we'll see how that goes. Audio Mac and that.
Still on your tracks. Vote for Me.
Yes.
It was a popular song at a point in Ghana.
Yes. Yes.
Popular.
Yes.
But I don't know if you were a soothsayer or you could see into the future. You were saying some things that I want to touch on. Kinky price go come down. No more killer disease. Well, we still have killer diseases.
Yes.
School fees. I say free school fees.
Free school fees.
Well,
that came to pass.
He did try.
Go past dollar. It no be full. This is what I want to touch on. How do you see Ghana's current state?
Oh man, I mean, Charlie. Yo, I mean, where do I even start? Like, I
Having
think
a problem. Where to start?
Yeah, because it's been pretty bad up till now, I must say. Without mincing my words, I think that we've been through a lot. But I'm guessing it's because it's getting closer to elections. So maybe things are starting to loosen up. There's always some kind of routine, you go hard, like it goes really bad, and then because they want to try and make you. I hate politics. I hate politicians. I think they're all the same. I think that sorry, man, but like.
Oh no, I'm not a politician.
I know.
When I say politics, I mean like work.
Okay.
Business wise, sometimes I have to play the part. Yeah.
But I just.
Oh, bro, we already diss them.
Yeah.
Fuck them politicians.
Yo, because all they think about is themselves and the next fufu and club beer. Yeah. I don't see them with the people's interests at heart at all. And for me, my dad always told me to stay away from it because he also felt the same way. Without touching too much, my family is rooted in politics, so I know how like from my dad's side. Yeah. So it's like I know how, like I've seen it all, and he did sports, and he said, you know what, sports don't mix with politics. So whatever the hell it is, I'm not touching this. If they asked him to do something that was politically inclined or based, he would shut it down and say no. I mean, there was one time he had that love for Ghana. Yeah, it was so much that he had the chance to even get an Italian passport and go and fight for Italy, and he declined. He declined. Wow. He said no. He had that because he's a proper Nkrumahist. Yeah. He grew up in that era. Nkrumah was in Zima as well. Mm-hmm. So like he loved what Nkrumah was all about. Giving us independence and things like that. So for him, that was where he's like, he loved Ghana so much that he would never sell his passport for a foreign one. Yeah. Unfortunately, that mindset is completely gone now. Like, it's completely the opposite.
Each one for himself, bro.
Yes, now it's each one for himself, including the politicians. Yeah. But that's not what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be helping the people. That's why the song came out. You made so much promises. Vote for me. I will give you this. CD go past dollar rate. What's the other one? The free... what was it? Masquerade every day. Water tap go flow beer. I don't know what the hell we were saying, but that was what we were saying back there because that's the idea that these guys gave us. And now so many years later, it's still the same. It's still the
2023, man. Water is still an issue.
One of the lines in that song, your flow that I wish would come to pass is we go chop free alele.
You see how wild I was back then. I mean, like who would say some shit like that? If I look back at my younger self, I was like a loose cannon. I'd say anything and do anything. There was no filter, and it's like I miss that. I miss that me because I've learned to be more like diplomatic and things like that. I did not give a flying fuck that back then, and I actually meant what I was saying. So it's like. That would have, free a lily.
Like a beer.
I don't know about that, man.
When you're fruit
Wow.
Yeah, that was a crazy one. That's a crazy line.
Yeah. That's a dope. That's a wild line.
That's a wild line.
I think this song should come back every 4 years.
Every 4 years. We did another one. I think 8 years ago. It had. I think it had One Love on it. It had One Love, Jawai, what's the Gimme Blue? What's his name? Asem. A whole bunch of people on it. So we did that, produced by J So.
Oh, nice.
But then I think we skipped a year after that, and then now it's probably time for us to start thinking about the next one.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I mean, it's fascinating to hear how disappointing. Some people don't want to touch politics, and for good reason. I keep wondering. If good people stay away from politics, but are there good people? If good people stay away from politics, how's the country going to progress?
True.
Because, bro, see, 2023, water issue, still be issue.
Madness.
It's crazy. Like
right now, I don't get water from my
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
They turned off your tap for like 4 days now.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it doesn't matter. You can live in Cantonment, you can live in East Airport, you can live in Adbublushi.
Yeah.
It's still the same shit. We all get affected differently. But what I've been meaning to ask, like you probably see, you say your family comes from It has that background.
Yes.
I'm actually curious about the name Blay because Blay is a very
Yes.
strong name.
Strong name. Yeah,
Yes.
Strong name. Strong name.
Yes.
My granddad is in Zimmer.
Oh, okay.
So I'm partly in Zimmer.
Oh, nice.
And
We're all related, you know that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
all
yeah,
this
yeah,
about
yeah.
related.
Bro,
At some
my
point.
granddad be so protective. He to be strong in Krumai. So when he
Yes,
was saying
yeah.
that, my ears were perked up.
Yeah.
But what do you think it is about the people in Ghana? Is it a lack of patriotism? Are the politicians a reflection of the society that they govern? Or is it that we don't have... Let me couch the question properly. Is it leadership that we need, or is it the people that need to change?
I think it's all of the above. But we should probably start with the people that should change, because it's the people that actually make the decisions. You're making your own decisions, and I know for sure that whoever you put there will act the same way as the last one, as the last one, as the last one. When their interests are not being met, they'll have to, do whatever they can to make their interests succeed. If this and it's a mindset, and everyone is like that. We're all thinking about ourselves. It's a dog eats dog world. Unfortunately, it's not just Ghana. It's a worldwide thing. It's a global thing. There are some you can say governments that are working, but I don't even think it's a democracy in those governments. So democracy like this it's a great concept. I love democracy. I wouldn't have it any other way. That's why we'll take it like that, and we'll keep quiet, and we'll just be there without our water sometimes. But at the end of the day, you look at the countries that are actually succeeding, and it's not really that democratic out there. It's actually like it's a totalitarian. It is what it is out there in terms of them imposing their will. There's no elections and things like that. But then it works for them in a way. But then you sacrifice your freedom. So it's
like a Rwanda.
Like a Rwanda. Look at Rwanda is a beautiful country. So they've been through all kinds of shit with the genocide and everything. They came back from that, and now they're really on the upscale. But at the end of the day, it isn't free as you would want it to be.
That's what people have told me. People have visited Rwanda. They says there's some air of you can tell in the air that, Charlie, you are not free.
They be heavy.
So what do you do in this case? You have to just live your life at what do you really want? I mean, live your life how you can with what you have. But then you just keep praying that the next person who wants to be president will come with some better ideology. And we've seen it. I've been in support of so many of our past presidents. They were doing so well, and then all of a sudden something happens, and then you're like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. We had so much hope in these people, and then it's just gone to shit. Yeah. So it's very difficult to say. It's not as just black and white. There's that gray area that I don't think we'll ever come to understand. It will take us forever to understand that gray area.
Yeah. Dope. May I go?
Yeah.
What's one studio session, before we go on to the next segment, what's one studio session will you never forget?
Wow. It would have to be the one that I produced my first track. It was called Balls.
Come if you want to play with
balls.
balls.
You can come.
You were into the music for real.
For real.
Fred, if you come rap, especially like here, like I start follow chair, and like I they enter the search.
Yeah.
Wow, that song
was amazing.
Yo.
So I produced that with Apietus. That's actually Apietus's first ever hip hop track that he's done.
Oh wow.
Ever. He was doing stuff with the other guys. It was a lot of Hiplife, Hiplife, but this was a proper hip hop beat with that guitar.
Wow. When was this?
How many years ago? When you asking when?
Yeah.
Oh, man, we're talking 99. Yeah, like 99. Wow. Yeah, I produced Asika Biso as well.
Asika, Charlie, guys, you guys have jams. Asika Biso. Everyone knows say live a rush.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Somebody say I'll be snake in the grass. Yeah. Now I should say I used to rap that. That was my favorite verse. So I'll
make happy. Yeah. See the way I get.
I think that when I was producing was my favorite because we used to like put our hearts and soul into those sessions, you know.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yo. Yeah. Charlie, before you came, I was like, we were here trying to find, and those 3 songs, like
Vote for Me,
I Feel Alright, and this
Yankambum.
Yeah, Yankambum. Like, aside that, like, I didn't find any.
Yeah.
These are all jams.
Yeah. It's sad.
Were you guys under a record label?
Case Frequency.
Case Frequency, yeah.
But it's now defunct. But yeah.
So they wouldn't have the records.
It's done. K passed away, and when he passed away, everything kind of like ended.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think that was also the problem. You know, like when he passed, he took all of that with him in a way. You know, and
Does his family have it?
Yeah.
I doubt. There was a flood as well. You know, there's always something that happened. We were recording on DATs, on DAT tapes.
Yeah.
So there was a flood some time ago. It just took everything away. It was just, it's just. But I do have, I have the first album, which is I have it on like on my laptop, which is the Yankambum album, Africa 2000. The one we don't have is the Vote For Me album, which had some crazy. It had some songs that if I hear them now, you guys.
So if somebody has that, let's say they purchased that album, would you be able to take that album and
put it on.
I'm very not technical. Mutombo will tell you.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to ask like a very stupid question right now, but I'm just trying to understand.
I see where you're going.
So if like I have the record at home. And I bring it to you.
Yes.
Would you be able to like remaster it and do stuff with it?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yo, fans out there, man. If you have the record,
Charlie,
we're trying to archive
Fred,
these things.
This song, come if you want to learn. Hey,
I have that one though. Yeah, that I have. I have balls. I still play it on radio every now and then. And it's funny enough. As soon as when we did that song, 2 years later, D12 or was it 3-4 years, much later actually. D12 came out with a song, same title, Balls. For Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah.
So it's like wow, you know, we were way ahead of our time.
Way
ahead. I wouldn't be surprised if they had the record.
Yeah, you know, you never know. You never know.
Before we come to radio, Eddy, what? Fred, this is then some crew there, the peer pressure crew. Charlie. Then the course. Then the course.
It was crazy.
Like, was it a proper crew, or it was just a bunch of friends who were always together and like
Well, with peer pressure, it was a bunch of us guys in the entertainment and media.
Yeah.
We all had the same. We were friends already.
Yeah.
But then we kind of like all gravitated to the same style, career path. Yeah. So it's like, well, you know, let's why don't we form like this clique? It started off as us going out and having a good time. You know, we like to party a lot, love to party. They love the girls, they love the booze. And the guys used to hate us, man. But the guys used to hate us, but they're like, I wish I could fuck with them. Yeah. But it was more of us just hanging out and going to parties and so then every now and then we sit down and say, you know what, why don't we do a couple of events? You know, let's do some events. You know, Chris Atto, you're an actor, D Black and Kweku T.
How deep were you guys?
As in in terms of numbers, we were about 15 to 16.
Crazy.
There were some people that
were. And they all had a certain leverage. Like if they were to form a company, a business, it would have been superior.
Reggie brings it up every time. Reggie always says that
you guys would have shut Ghana down.
We would have. We were too busy partying, I think. Yeah. And we should have been more focused on the business side. But everybody was doing well. You know, everybody. We could see D Black had their thing going. Chris Atto, Kwame Fache was doing his thing. Kwashiga was, everybody was doing their thing. So it's like, we didn't need to. We weren't thinking far. We were too happy and content. But as Reggie put it, if we had just looked at the business side, and we tried a couple of times. But I think also, I will say this, egos also came into play. And when you mix business with egos and friendship, you get quite a combustible mix-up, which kind of blows up in your face every now and then. And I think that was also one of the issues that we faced. There's too many big egos in a crew like that. And it's better to remain friends than make business soil it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very cautious about, even though I've never been intimate with the entertainment industry, when I hear stories like this, I'm always very cautious about reminding ourselves and people that it's easy to always take a situation and say, oh, peer pressure, if we thought about you guys didn't come together because of business. You came together because of the vibe, and you guys were doing things and you were happy and you wanted to party.
Yes.
So to look at it retroactively and say, oh, maybe we could, it wouldn't have worked. Yeah. Bro, like business-wise, you see, even look at people who started out with the business mindset, like a Rockefeller.
Yes.
They fall apart. Like he's talking about, egos and whatnot. So you have a bunch of alpha males, 15 deep. Yeah. Everybody has their own vision, idea. Yeah. This person is doing it. If you bring a business proposition, unless you're talking about high-level corporation where everybody knows I'm just an investor, who's going to be the boss?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you pick the boss?
That was one of the issues.
It's not going to work. Yeah. So I think it served the purpose. Maybe in retrospect, you can capitalize off of it and do merch or do something to remind you of the energy and vibe that it brought. But I don't think it was intended to be a business venture.
It wasn't.
Yeah, it was meant to be what it was, and it feels.
Did you guys ever do merch?
Nah. Oh well, we did a couple of T-shirts. Yeah, like we had Reggie still hasn't gotten his T-shirt, so he brings it every time. He's like, "Where's my fucking T-shirt, man?" I'm like, yo, it's coming.
Yo, Fred, you weren't here, but that's Squad.
Yeah, Squad was. And we would pull up to the club, and 10 deep, and people just open the doors.
Yeah, exactly. That was what I was coming to say. Like, you just go open it.
And then you can hear us barking, oh shit, they're here. Yeah. And then you can see the hate in some people's eyes. Like, these fucking guys, man.
Ball. If you dare where you be isolated with these niggas, they can't grab all the girls. Because women.
Yeah.
One's a woo-woo where they say, shut it down.
One of them grabbed my girls, though.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Sorry, bro.
Oh, sorry about that.
What can you do?
Plenty fishes in the sea.
No, sometimes when a superior grabs your girl, you just for salute and talk, say, okay, either I elevate, put myself in a position where that can't happen, or you chalk it to the game, because say, Charlie,
game recognized game. Say for my back or for my front.
Like, that be the one I like.
For
but they make you understand yourself. If they do for your back, you make like, there could have been an opportunity for me to stop it. No, they take out for your front. You understand yourself.
And when the girl came, I was so pissed at her. I'm like, why should I be pissed at her? I should go and face him. I should go because that was so disrespectful.
Afterwards, you gotta tell me who it was. Right?
Yeah. You might.
I think I have an idea.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that during our lifetime, you are going to be in our faces still.
Yes.
Because it looks like entertainment isn't stopping for you.
No.
Right. No two ways about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How stressful has it been from like the 90s, late 90s till now? Because now you are on radio constantly.
Yes.
I hear your voice constantly.
Yes.
Has it been stressful? Like, do you wake up looking forward to the day every single day, or there are days that you don't want to do anything at all because you are tired?
I mean, all of the above. I still have the passion for everything I'm doing. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it. I recently started working with a club called Mad in East Legon. It's a new club that's out. It's the hottest club in Accra right now. And I find myself getting home at 9 o'clock in the morning. I go home on Monday. I go home at 9 o'clock in the morning. On Monday morning, because we do Friday, Saturday, Sunday for now. And I got home at 9 o'clock on Monday morning during rush hour. So I'm in the car, bashing sounds like, I got my shades on. I got the music all turned up. I'm still living that life. I've got, just when I thought I was out, they dragged me back in. That's a Pacino moment for you. So it's like, that's happening for me now. Radio is a 24-hour...
Calito Brigante.
Yes, sir. Radio is like 24. It's a 24-hour thing, and running that is 24 hours. Anything can happen at any time. You always have to be on point. Now there's a big announcement that's about to come. We're making big moves with YFM as well. It's like, it's constant. It's constant. So yes, I get so fucking tired sometimes, and I'm like, Charlie, I wish I could just spend a day home playing Grand Theft Auto. You know, like that's what I want to. That's my de-stress. Like I de-stress by playing GTA and just being in that world. And then I have the cheat codes for a rain and then, or snow, and then I'm just there. Oh man, I wish I was there right now. You know, I wish I could travel all the time and just sit on Kokobrites beaches or go to stay in Akosombo, which I try and do as much as I can, because it's Chile crazy, man. And now the competition is a lot. You know, radio stations, they're everywhere. There's so many, like a million radio stations out there. The club, you know, I opened up my own media company now, which to add to my workload. I'm also trying to get back on television with a soccer reality show. I'm trying to bring that back. So it's like there's so much on my plate, but I still want to do it because one, I want to get paid. Two, I still have the passion for it. Yeah. But hell yeah, I get tired. Hell yeah, I wish I had a day off. There's no days off. Literally no days off. I wish I had a day off and just chill and not think about work and not think about anybody. Charlie, my phone is constantly going off. Now it's on flight mode, but like it's constantly going off. Yeah. And I used to hate people that say, oh, I'm so busy. It's a bit pretentious. And it's like, you feel some way like, this guy's always saying that he's busy. We know you're busy. It's okay. And I used to hate that. But I'm living that now, and I realize that it's just, first of all, I'm at an age that I need to go the extra mile. Because if I take my foot off the pedal now, then it's over. Yeah, you know, with this business, you have to constantly go on and keep growing and keep growing and keep reinventing yourself and keep doing it and keep the passion. Because if you lose the passion for this, you're done. If you lose the passion for entertainment, and I've seen it, and like a lot of the guys I work with, I can tell when they lose the passion. They come to me and say, "Yo, Eddie, man, I'm tired of this club life. I can't." Some of the DJs I've spoken to, you can tell the MCs, they get tired. But the minute you lose the passion, then you might as well just pack yourself somewhere. So I can't afford to lose that passion, because otherwise, then it's done.
So that's an interesting take and point that is I'm very curious about, because Mutombo and I were discussing what our themes have been for the past 2 seasons, and sort of like first season we're dealing with heavy subject matter. We're talking about fatherhood, some type of grief, health, evolution. And listening to you now, one of the things that I think doesn't get talked about enough, middle-aged man. You said something that struck me, because it's something I think about a lot. If I can't afford to take my foot off the pedal, because then it's done. Yeah. You feel like you have to amass a certain comfort level, a certain security, for obvious reasons, family, making sure you're in good shape, blah, blah, blah. How do you approach the stage that you're at, having all of these things on your plate? You're not doing it for the sake of, I have nothing else to do, but there are real concerns there. You're trying to make sure that financially you're stable. We're in an economy that there are not too many options to make sure that is secured. Yes. So you feel like you're almost like an octopus. You have to have several hands in several areas, making sure they're all being optimized. What's the plan? How do you say to, like, we're slightly younger. Yes. We're coming up. Yes. We're thinking about, securing our futures, making sure our kids are okay, making sure our families are okay, making sure we're like, because the society we live in. Yes. If you're a man and you don't get nothing, really,
you can forget.
You're done for. How are you navigating it, and how are you dealing with the totality of it? Like, what is the strategy? Is there something that you can pass on to us for us to maybe, in hindsight, you've seen that, okay, my brother, go this way, don't go that way, because you've been through it. Like,
I mean, I'll be straight with you. We talked earlier about when I started with the hip hop and everything, and how we could have been as big as Sak or as Shatawale or whoever it is now, like if we had just kept going. So every now and then you use that and say, well, you didn't have that. You had that opportunity, and that opportunity is gone. So first, I would say, don't lose guard with the opportunities that present themselves. For any kind of window that comes up, you might want to take it, because you never know where that's going to lead, especially when that's your passion. With regards to losing that opportunity and now being in, having to like do your thing, tentacles everywhere, it's about basically knowing also your worth, I think. knowing what you're worth to others when you work with them, one, and praying that the people that you work with also understand your worth, because a lot of people will take advantage of you. And two, it's also about staying healthy and trying as much as you can to get enough sleep and trying to run. I had a great regimen that I was working with about a year ago, which like was perfect. I was losing weight, I was running, I was mentally fit, physically fit, and that was working for me. And now it's been like a few months that I haven't been able to do that, so I'm regretting it. So I'm looking at starting that again, because without you're gonna break down. And I keep telling other people that I work with that take your breaks, take your holidays if you have them. If you have an opportunity to go out and go and sit on the beach and chill, do it. Go and relax and have that mental peace, because I can't live my life constantly on the go. I have to also relax. And I think of the fact that, yes, my kids are not here. If my kids were here, this lifestyle, like I said earlier, I probably wouldn't be able to live it because of that. I'm kind of like allowed to do it because, you know, they're not here, so I can do what I'm doing, and I can come home at 9 o'clock in the morning, and who gives a fuck? I don't answer to anybody. I'm not married, you know, like I'm single. So it's like there's that. But the idea is to also take care of yourself, your mental health, your physical health, and everything. And that's what I need to start doing more. I know how to do it, but you need to be able to like cut out the time blocks for you to take for yourself. Like next week, I'm planning on going to Kokobite for a couple of days, sit down, turn my phone off. I don't want to hear anything from anyone. I just want to have peace of mind, because without that, you're going to break down. You're going to break down. And then when you break down and nobody's there to do the work, trust me, you'll get replaced in a heart fucking beat. Yeah. They will take, the next person is there to do your job. Yeah. So nothing is guaranteed. And the only way you can guarantee it is by being Johnny on the spot, but know how to like take your time out and think of yourself.
Awesome.
Gems. Diamonds for Seashore.
That's a long one.
Yeah.
Diamonds for Seashore. Search the sound. If you don't find, don't ball.
Are you still open for features?
Oh yeah. I mean, funny enough, before COVID, I was working on my mixtape. Before COVID, during COVID, and then COVID hit hard, and then like, oh fuck, I had a few people on the mixtape. Yeah. I mean, why not? You know.
So, like, let's say if Shatta or Esak or
oh yeah, why not? Of course.
Black
Hey,
Sheriff,
you know. I'll jump on that motherfucker, man.
I think that voice should you know come back.
Yeah.
If it's not you flowing, just you know.
I'll tell you the one thing that I have.
Speaking.
Yeah. But I love the flow.
Yeah, I know.
The one thing that I am happy that I'm still doing is the fact that I'm still on radio. So I'm still, I still have that bit that I can come on radio for 2 hours, even if it's 2 hours a weekend, just to like express myself in terms of my creativity, in terms of the music I like, and spreading the music I like to other people, and playing and mixing, and I DJ and DJing and all that. So that's my passion is still there, because if I didn't have that, I don't know, you know, I find it like therapy, you know. And it's the same thing if people ask, I've been asked to, you know, to jump on a couple of tracks. Ohene wants me to jump on a track with him and Chuck D from Public Enemy. That's a huge fucking deal. I'm like, whoa, wow, of course I'll do that. So I have to go and write the verse. I don't like the beats too much. So I haven't told him that. I'm not too happy with the beat. That's why I haven't done it yet. But like, hell yeah, I'll be happy to, like, it's just my thing. I was born to do this.
Yeah. Wow. Putting Ghana into perspective, who from here are you listening to now?
Wow. Who am I listening to in Ghana? I would say a few underground guys that you might not have heard of. There's a guy called New Money Boast, who I really like. I listen to Lyrical Joe. LJ. I listen to a lot of, there's a guy called, he's actually my cousin, Low-Key Freddie Frizzo. He's a dope artist. I'm working with an artist called Mark Lowry, who is also, he's a high life guy who I play a lot of his stuff I like. Jabrilville, you know Jabrilville. I like all these guys who are not commercial. I'm not a fan of commercial music. It is what it is. I mean, there's so much, and it's not because of anything. I think we've been force fed too much commercial stuff over the years. You just start to regurgitate it at a certain point. And you know,
I mean, the substance in music normally the underground is pushing the boundaries, being more edgy, saying crazy introspective stuff, but then you catch a gem like Free Alili.
Yeah.
But then underneath the Free Alili, the person draws you in with talking about free SHS, the politicians misleading us, A new record just came out. I don't want to get into it too much, but when I listen to it, this is one of our biggest artists potentially on the scene. And I popped the record and I've been listening to it because I like to ride to music. I'll give it the walk listen, headphones.
Of course.
I'll give it the car listen. I'll give it the indoor listen. Because I feel like all of those different spaces give you a different reception to what's being said to you.
Absolutely.
And I don't blame you. I'm saying this to say that I've done it. I did the walk this morning. I did the car ride. I did the house listening. And I'm not finding anything in the music. The music is just vibes of vibes.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you saying? What are you talking about?
It's a new cool thing, vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a vibe. Like me, I won't listen to anything that won't make you go, wow, hey, this is crazy. Like I won't listen.
But even the vibe that you're trying to draw on, because vibe on vibe, there's a vibe that came from maybe popping Eddy Blay in when you're hustling, you're struggling, something is bothering you. And at the time, that music connected to you, so it was a vibe.
Yes.
Okay, cool, fair. Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Then, but somebody will come and take you away from that vibe because Patra is taking you away from the vibe that Eddy Blay is giving you. Now you're like, oh, pull up to my bumper, babe. But now, it's like the music is just all one thing. Baby girl, something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, you put 14 records together and all you're talking about is some relationship that I don't give a shit about. There's a lot more to life. There's a lot more to living than vibes, the vibes that is going on now. So I don't know how, I totally understand what Eddy Blay is saying by saying that he doesn't check out. I don't know where to find these new artists. I'm looking for something that's going to like jolt me out of my seat, like make me jump out and be like, okay, this guy's seeing the reality of what's happening on the ground, because you're talking about life as it's happening. Yeah. Not everybody's vibing, popping bottles and living the club life. That's one thing. But the music has gone so far away from it that even the hustling artists that are coming out and say, I get money past your papa. No, you don't. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, it's like we're lying regularly in the music just to create a vibe. And I think that's taken away from the soul.
Eddie, what makes a song... Let me rephrase. What do you look out for in a song that got, no, I like that song?
I think, as with most people, it would be the beat that catches me. I remember Dr. Dre saying that it's the first like few seconds of the song, and it will tell you whether you like the song or not. And I like to think of myself as someone with a very eclectic taste in terms of, I look at the UK, for example. They make the best music as far as I'm concerned at the moment, because of it being a melting pot of so many cultures, of the Jamaicans, of the Europeans, African, American. It's a bit of everything in the UK. That's why the music from the UK for me is the best. America, if you look at America, it's very plastic. I don't see.
I think they've lost it with hip hop.
They've lost it. As with hip hop, especially, they've lost it. So for me, it's the first thing I would look out for is the type of beat that you're writing, and then of course punchlines are good, but I think over the years I've become like, man, like now people don't even want to hear that anymore. It's like, where's that art? Where's the art of the punchline, man? The punchline for me is still very strong. I'm a big fan of rap when it's about punchlines. That's why I listen to Eminem, and I think Eminem is the greatest rapper alive or dead. It's just that it's sad that he's white. If he was black, we would all say yes. Yeah. But the fact is, because he's white, people are disputing his greatness.
Eminem is a god.
He's a god. Yeah. So I mean, for him, that's what made him what he is. The punchlines is what he's rapping about and things like that. I listen to Jamiroquai. I like stuff that's different, and I like people that don't want to do stuff that is all over the place. People that even the Ghanaian artists that want to shy away from the You know, like that is an Afrobeats rhythm, but it's like, let's do something different. What's the next genre of music that's going to blow up? We're yet to see something that anybody who comes out of that box, for me, gets 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, and I still think Jamiroquai has the best music video ever for me. Virtual
Insanity.
That video
Hype Williams.
Yeah. Oh, is it Hype?
Hype Williams.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Hype
you
Williams.
see that video?
I have to.
I'm
sure I've seen it.
I've
but
seen
I
it.
have
You've
to
seen
go
it.
back.
Definitely
You've
seen
seen
it.
it.
Jamiroquai, really?
Crazy
Yeah.
video.
Crazy video. 3 names, and you tell me like one word. It can be 1 word or 2 words, but maximum 2 words.
Okay.
Sack.
Dope.
Black Sheriff.
Different.
Wow.
I was expecting different.
Yeah. Jackie.
Sensational.
Fred, do you have names? Because this be Eddie, you know.
Yeah. Obrafo.
Legend.
Dead body.
Kwesi. My guy.
Yeah.
Dead buddy, man.
And last name, Tiny.
Yeah.
Aleche. Go back to Sack, man.
Yeah.
Sack, and I'll say it here. Like, to me, you can fight me. I think he's the best rapper in Africa.
I always say this.
I mean, it doesn't matter what language he's rapping in, but especially when he's rapping in Tree.
Yeah.
He is the best rapper in Africa, and that's what it is.
Hands down.
There's nobody who can fuck with him. I mean, worldwide, yes, there are people do, but in Africa, no one has showed like his standard.
Yeah.
So that's what I don't know how to. I was gonna use one word for it, but I couldn't think of it. That's why I just said dope.
Yeah.
But he's on that level. You know, it's just he's a phenomenon.
Sack is it.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm coming around to, because I see you said it. Mensa said something to the effect. Eddie saying, I'm a big Obrafo guy.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to get off that train because I felt like maybe Sack to me, and it may not be true, but Sack felt like Obrafo 2.0. I know his style is different, but the depth of the lyricism and the using the tree to that level where Obrafo is the one that made me pause and be like, what did he just say? You know, and for me, I've latched onto maybe it's just nostalgia. And I need, because Obrafo is literally the first rapper that I put in my top 5 dead or alive. I don't give a shit what language, hip hop. Like I would say Jay-Z and I'll say Biggie, and I'm looking for where to place Obrafo because he was that dope for me. So I see what you guys are saying. Sack is super hella dope, but I've always held Obrafo, and that's like a placeholder. So maybe I need to listen to a little bit more.
I mean, you look at Obrafo, his style. Yes, he's also like very, very talented, lyricism, everything. And when I understand, because my tree is a bit off sometimes, but for the most part, I get it. But with Mr. Man like Sack, I mean, he brings something else to the table in terms of his dexterity, if you will, and he brings a bit of everything. He can switch up his flow, and he rides the beats. Any beats that you give him, he will ride it. There's no beats, I think, that he can't ride on, which makes, to me, it's on that Eminem level if Eminem was from Ghana. That's the way I see it. I mean, it's a big compliment, and you can fucking fight me, guys. But I think he's that damn good. You know, his English might not be as good as we want it to be. Let's put it like that. In all fairness, but when he's rapping in Tree, there is nobody in Africa on the continent that can fuck with
that.
him.
I'd agree with.
That one
I actually sometimes almost wish he wouldn't do the English so much. Because I feel like he's so great at the tree.
Like, you don't have to do it. Like, he doesn't even have to do it. He does it. You could tell he does it because he needs to cross over to, the foreigners or whatever.
Yeah.
But he literally does not even have to do it because he's that fucking dope.
Yep.
It's almost like asking Eminem to rap in a different language.
Same fucking thing. Yes.
He's just supreme.
Yes.
That you have to give him. That when he goes into the tree.
Hey, nobody. What
would you do to move the culture forward if you were put in the driver's seat?
All right, define the driver's seat.
I hate when people say if you could push a button, because there's never going to be that button.
Yeah.
You know,
Imaginary button.
literally, there's never going to be the button that you can push to change things. But I think what I'm asking is, with your experience, with your knowledge, and with the benefit of time, how do you think you can help move the culture in the direction that it should go in? That's the real question I'm asking.
I think I would trust the youth. I would trust the young people coming up. Because that's a mistake that we made, or they made with me and people like me when we were coming up. They didn't trust us. They didn't trust what we were doing. They didn't believe in what we were doing. They shut it down, and that's why we're not the millionaires, some of us, that we could have been. Because back then it was like you're either doing high life, or if you're doing the hip hop, then it's some Afro thing. So it's like, yo, you're trying to be like the West End world. Oh, yo, no. They frowned on it. They shat on it. They made us feel bad for doing it. Some guys, we did some video. We had some toy gun in the video. Some big time guy from back in the day, high life guy, said some shit about us that, we're putting guns in the video. What are they doing? These young fools, whatever the fuck you were saying about us. So they didn't believe in the youth back then. Even now, a lot of people still don't do that. They still don't believe in the youth, but they're realizing that the youth is so like the movement, the culture, the lifestyle that the young people are living now, and what we're living back then. You have to let them be them, and let them know that they have the power to be great, and give them the chance to make the decisions. It's not just about you guys who are there, who've been there for so long. Let other people come in and do some of it. Let them show you that they can also show improve. That's one of the things that I've always treasured about YFM, is giving the people the chance to do it. As a programs manager over there, I don't restrict them. I expect them to know certain things that they can or can't say, or can or can't do. I expect them to be professional. And the minute I see that, you have that in you, you have carte blanche, man. You go ahead and do you. Go ahead. How you want to do your show? You want to talk? I always ask, what do you want to do? Like now, we're looking at some different things. Bring the ideas. What do you want to do? Yeah, Eddie, I want to do that. Fucking do it. Do it. Go for it. So I think that should be the main thing. Because if you look at the Renaissance, if you will, or whatever is the revolution of Afro beats now, it's from the youth, man. It's something that the year of return and all the Afro nations and the futures and all them lot that are coming. Christmas is crazy. So much revenue coming to Ghana. It's from the youth.
Yeah.
So give the youth the chance to let them be free, let them speak, give them the positions to make decisions, and watch it grow.
Powerful. Powerful.
Dope. Believe in the youth, man.
Believe in the youth.
So before my question, your question then.
So there was a debate back in the peer pressure time, yes? Yeah. We used to debate on BBM about who...
Oh, BBM.
Yeah, R.I.P. BBM.
Those were the days, man.
They made a movie about BlackBerry, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Downloading
BBM.
it illegally. There used to be a guy on Twitter called Class Talkative. Was that you?
No.
Have you ever been accused of being...
So many times.
Okay, all right.
Many times.
I've never asked you.
Class Talkative, he talked some about me self before.
Me self. He talked some saying I had something going on with Debbie.
Okay.
Never,
so it's not you.
I suspected someone, and I asked him, but he said no, it's not him. You know, a friend of mine who I still suspect. You know, but that person, whoever Class Talkative was crazy.
Yeah, he was the original troll.
Yeah,
he was the original troll.
Oh, so he thought it was me?
There was a debate.
No.
I didn't know. I didn't have an opinion on it. But there was a debate going on in the groups. One of the guys. It could be Watombo.
The Black thought it was me.
I think he's the one who even started it.
Yeah, because the Black pulled me aside one day in his house and was like, Mutombo, you will be the class. I'm like,
well, there you go. He's the one who
you know me.
Okay, but that guy is not even around anymore. We don't. Now there are other trolls.
But people were threatened by him, because he could just say anything.
The thing is, he knew too much information. Like, it seemed that he knew what he was talking about. And for you to know that kind of knowledge, you would have to be
in
a
the
part
circle.
or be in the circle. You know, so it was.
It's crazy.
And Matongo was in a circle back then. You know, he was like. So it made sense when whoever said it, I was like, it could very well be. Okay.
It's not. It's
All
not
right.
me.
All right. So
I
case
think,
closed.
I think aside my Motomo the Poet account, I have one other account for my photography, and I have one account that I don't follow anyone, never followed anyone, never tweeted at anyone. It's just my thoughts.
Okay.
I just.
Oh,
I
really?
just, yeah.
Interesting.
I just put my
Interesting.
thoughts there.
Interesting.
I've had one
No
account
one
and one
knows-
account.
no
I
one
barely
knows.
tweet nowadays, actually.
Yeah.
No one knows that account.
I see.
Yeah. So
You had a question, yeah.
yeah, I think you have another.
No,
or
you had
last?
a question, yeah, I think. Okay.
So your father,
Yes.
known to be the champion.
Yes.
He did one thing. Maybe what the other. I at a point in time, he had a restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sole Mio
yeah.
is an Italian restaurant.
I think I saw him there once.
What's the Italian connection? I meant to ask.
My
sir.
mom was Italian.
Oh, awesome.
No,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
I was born in Italy as well.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
So you have an Italian passport.
I'm Italian. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm
So-
Ghanaian Italian.
So Charlie, Ghana, there, everybody from Falafio.
Charlie.
Anytime I hear someone who is dual, I go like Charlie.
Well, it goes back to
If
my
you can
dad.
help it for your kids, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
why
my
not?
kids are also Italian.
Yeah.
But my dad, like I said, when he shut that down, when they asked him, he remained Ghanaian till his death.
Yeah.
He had he married an Italian wife. He lived in Italy for a lot of time. He had a business in Italy, but he never changed his citizenship. He remained a Ghanaian because he was super proud. He didn't even want the dual one. He just wanted to be a true Ghanaian.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Shout,
they don't make them like that
shout,
anymore.
shout. Yeah. So yeah, he was known to be the champion, the
Yes.
boxer.
Yes.
You know, you are known for so many things.
Yes.
So many things, and if one day, knock on wood, right, you are no more. What one thing do you want people to remember you? You know, by?
Man, you know, Charlie, it's like I really don't give a fuck, you know. I remember I used to be different. I used to be, they should remember me as somebody who was, passionate about what he was doing. But I mean, look, when you experience death as much, I mean, after seeing my parents pass and,
Both of your parents are gone?
yeah, they died
Damn, man.
in different years, but it was, a lot of friends of mine passed away. You realize that, Charlie, at least I just want to make sure that my kids are good. I don't want, when you die, the people that suffer are the loved ones, your loved ones who you leave behind. And I know because we suffered, my family, when my dad passed or my mom passed, we went through hell. I went through living hell. So it's like when you see that and you don't wish that on anyone. For you, it's like you don't want that to happen. At least when I pass, my kids should have a good life. They should be safe. They should remember me, of course, in their hearts. I want that. But that's who I really care of. I care about. Yeah, everyone else, if they, Eddy Blay, oh yeah, he used to rap. Oh, Charlie, yeah, whatever, man. Honestly, I that has gone. It's left.
That's what
my body.
maturity brings to you. Because
I believe so.
you get older, you realize that all of this, honestly,
None of this is meaningless. All of this is meaningless.
Yeah.
None of this means anything. Everything that we're doing means nothing. I'll tell you the one thing that I have become closer to. The one entity is God. I've become such a lot more religious over the years, whereas I used to be less religious back then because I realized that you can't say that this is it. There's got to be something else afterwards. There is an afterlife. For those that don't believe in God and are atheists and think that, this is all we have. When we die, we go to dust. That's a bunch of bullshit. You can't tell me that this is all there is. I will not. I refuse to believe that we're put on this earth and we go through so much pain and suffering and happiness and sadness, all of that, all for nothing. I don't believe that. So I look at that and say, well, whatever it is in the afterlife, I will be judged. I will be. I will hopefully be forgiven for some of the vile things I've done because I'm no saint. So a lot of the things I look at, if I was to pass, is that I just pray that my future is better than my past.
absolutely. I think it's a dope perspective to have because we're living in an era where people are not gracious to themselves, but also not gracious towards other people. We're supposed to come out of the womb woke. And I'm using the word woke because that's the catchphrase.
Shout
now.
out to the Gen Z.
Yeah, like you're supposed to come out and know everything. Like we're having fun talking about free alili, and we know the meaning of what. But in this day and age, people will put so much weight on it, like, oh, and start giving you like, but you realize that life is an evolution.
Yes.
And the best lessons, in my opinion, are the ones that you learn through experience, and the change that has come to you over experience and evolution, not the one that somebody has come to sit in front of you and say, Eddy Blay, Charlie, tattoo, no good for you for change.
Yes.
You go be like, my friend, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, but if you go through something and you're like, you make a decision for yourself, it sticks, it's more impactful. And I wish we would give each other more grace. So shout out to the thoughts.
Salute, guys.
Media, for me, dear, I know we are friends, but for me, you are someone I still look up to. You are still that superstar. Like,
I appreciate
when
that,
I first met you at, at that carnival thing where you
Yeah.
walked past me. That's how I see you. You have introduced me a couple of times at WAPI.
Yes.
You were the host, right?
At
WAPI, and I go like,
yeah.
So for me, you are still a god.
Thank you, sir. I
You will
appreciate
forever remain a god. And Charlie, I know that there are so many people out there who yearn for back then.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I meet them every day.
Yeah,
Trust me. When I go out, I see people. They always come up to me. They're like, "Oh, yo, Eddy Blay."
Yeah.
I still, the love is so fucking real. Like and it's funny. I'm more famous now than I used to be.
Yo, wow.
I never understood that.
Yeah.
I don't like. Jake is always laughing at me. Like, how are you more famous now than when you were on TV? I'm not even on TV. I have a show on Saturdays on YFM from 6 to 8. That's all I'm doing on radio. So it's like, that's all. But I get so much love from everyone. By the way, this is the first fucking podcast I've done.
Shout.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
If more, let's divide.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah. First
Blessing
one.
us with that.
Yes,
We appreciate it.
Yes, sir. So I'm just happy that, it's good. It's good vibes. It's good to hear.
Maybe
these
you guys
things.
should do like a tour. Somebody should fund or put that together, because that generation, what generation are we? I forget the
X.
Millennials?
Yeah, we are the
Millennials.
millennials.
Yeah, millennials.
So we the millennials were at least in a better position financially now, where we can come out and support. No. I mean,
Boss.
no, it's just a fact
Boss
of
levels.
like concert tickets no be one a problem
True,
between
true,
you and me.
True.
You know what I mean? I'm not talking about any other kind of balling, please.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, for us, we still have the nostalgia that if you put out, like right now, say, you, Reggie, a bunch of some of the cats we grew up idolizing now, like the way they did, the Bad Boy or the So Def or whoever.
Yes.
But you say, artists from that era are going on a tour, even if it's venues that's going to hold 500, 1,000 people, whatever. I'm sure we'll come out, and because we need things to do. Like, Charlie, go out and eat is tired.
Yo, it's expensive too.
It's expensive too, and it's lame.
It's lame
like,
too.
we need to go and bring some of these memories back. Like, I can see Mutombo in the crowd reciting every lyric, and he will pay his money to. So I don't know, but I keep saying that it's not all lost.
Yeah.
I feel like every time that I'm interacting with all the legends that I looked up to, we looked up to, it feels almost like there's nothing that can be done, but there's a lot that can be done. We can make this a whole thing, and somebody needs to. I don't have the resources.
That's the thing.
Somebody.
Yeah. We
Somebody
need someone
needs
to
like
take charge and say, I'm
take
doing
charge
this.
and say like, okay, promotion company, we're gonna go on a tour and make it happen. It'll be dope.
Yeah. I know Dead Buddy has tried a couple of times. Dead Buddy has tried to do
I just asked of him last week.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know the guy. The last time we record, I was like, what happened to Dead Buddy? Because Dead Buddy to me is a superstar in my mind. Like when the style and the flow, everything was different. It's like now everybody sounds almost the same because it's like a formula.
Yeah.
But back then everybody have your own
style,
trying to be your own
everybody,
lane. Yeah.
Like we were different from Ochami. Totally. We were totally different from them. And it was cool. VIP, everybody was different. And we're proud of that,
Yeah, Charlie, crazy.
But it's all good.
Me, it be the pigeon rap. Like
Pigeon, oh my days.
It blew my mind.
Yeah. Pigeon was amazing.
Because that be we want a thing.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when my cousin was in the US, the same one that I told you about that, when we moved, or when we were there, he was trying to build his music career. He said something, he was rapping about, the shit, drugs. I said, bro, you're not going to tell the story better than Jay-Z.
Yeah.
This is their thing.
Yeah.
Snowman. You're not going to be dope man better than Jay-Z.
At all.
So why don't you tell our story? And One Love had blazed that trail already. That record, Green Card.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
a big deal.
One of my favorite albums ever.
Yeah,
That, record.
that title
Amazing.
alone.
Yeah.
Because it's a real struggle for so many of
Yes,
us
yes.
that move there. But people be sensitive, they don't want to talk about it. But I think that's how you shine a light
Yeah.
and let people see the humanity aspect of it. And that's what the arts can do. The arts can bring people closer to your pain and your struggle. That all of a sudden, people might look at it from a different perspective and appreciate you more for being who you are, not trying to imitate them. So,
No
anyway,
doubt.
yeah.
Shout Fred. So many gems.
Oh, by the way, shout out to Eddy Blay for the J's, by the way. When he walked in, I was like, okay, true hip-hop head.
Yeah, man.
The camels.
Yeah.
These are the 14s, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Like, and especially this color.
This color, black and yellow.
Yeah,
Yep.
this be. I say, oh, this is my guy. Big guy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, peer pressure.
You know.
It
It goes like peer pressure.
It go
for
make
life.
you go around your mommy, go can't right now.
True that.
Yeah, Charlie,
True that.
Eddie, Charlie.
Guys, this has
Fred.
been amazing. Thank you so much.
It was. I didn't even realize the time.
Yeah,
where
gems,
it went.
gems upon
I feel like
gems
we can
upon
do another
gems.
hour of
Yeah.
this.
Nice
but-
one. Thank you so much.
Charlie, Eddie, we thank you for coming through the podcast, and it's so dope because this is your first podcast.
My first podcast ever.
Charlie.
So respect to you.
We
guys.
have the bragging rights.
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes, sir.
First pigeon record.
Yes, sir.
First video, something I forgot what the video
The
was.
first hip hop video
video,
on
yeah.
Ghanaian television.
Yeah, first
Yeah.
podcast.
First
Yeah,
podcast.
Charlie.
Always
Charlie,
doing something first.
Yeah.
man.
Unbelievable.
That's dope.
So, guys,
Yes,
you
sir.
have to be the first to follow us.
Yeah.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and Charlie, another episode. Fred,
Yes, sir.
we are through.
Thank you.
Hey, Charlie, we do.
Yeah. It was easy.